do this every single day to practice consistency, and we do this every single day to build a little bit of community. Have a little bit of fun trying to make the suffering that we're about to do a little bit easier, a little bit more chill. And why can't I get the angle of this thing right? What? All right. Good enough. All right, let's go. Let's get ready to exercise. Doggo, please chill, relax, and don't come into the camera. Oh, nope, coming in anyway. Hello, goodbye. We've learned this. I don't pay attention to you when I do the live. Grab the socks and run away. Okay, whew, let's go. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community, and hopefully make a little bit of progress in our side splits. Plus, make it, a little bit more fun so that your hips don't suffer for just the sake of suffering. You get to have some entertainment while you do it. All right? Ah, I butchered that intro, but that's okay. Let's get going. We're going to do some hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this. We're trying to bring our leg muscles into a situation where they are forcing our hips to get through as much range of motion as possible in that leg. That is a really confusing way of saying we're going to move our muscles into, or we're going to move our leg into crazy places with our muscles. All right. So let's start with lifting that knee as high as you can. Up. From here, we're going to open up that leg as wide as you can. Try to keep the hip in the same spot. So this hip hasn't gone anywhere, but we're trying to push that leg out to the side. Then we're going to lift that knee as high as we can. Oh. Then from here, we're going to rotate that leg so the ankle comes up and is hidden behind the knee. All right. We're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on rotating, trying to bring the ankle up as high as we can. Oh. Then we're going to finish by bringing the leg down and back. When we bring the leg down and back, it's going to look like this from the side. We're flexing the hamstrings, we're flexing the glutes. We're trying to pull that leg back. We're going to feel the stretch here in the front. That is one rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's do this. I'm going to do a couple facing so it's easier to mirror. And then I'm going to do some leaning against the wall because I want to be lazy too. All right, let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and tight. Try to keep your hips in basically the same spot the whole time. And high knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Oh, down and back. That's one. Back knee. Open. Oh, off balance. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. We got four more. If you are off balance, you're struggling to stay stable, put your hands up against the wall and continue. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whew. Those are hip cars. We've done one leg. We got 3 more rounds of this. We're going to go forward direction, one more on the other leg because we can't be unfair, right? Then we're going to go in reverse and do both legs. All right, that's 25%. Let's go. 25 more percent. Hold on to the wall for balance if you need it. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core tight, and let's begin. High knee. Lift that knee as high as you can directly in front. Then keep that knee high. Open up that leg to the side. Whew, rotate the ankle up. Rotate it up some more. Rotate some more. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings. Flex the glutes. Feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. Keep on going. Don't take it easy. Don't take it chill. Work those muscles. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. High knee. open, ankle up, down and back, that's 9, last one, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. Oh man, okay, that is 10 hip cars on each leg. Whew. Take a second, do a little shake, mess with those hip circles for a second, and let's get ready to go in reverse. We're doing basically the same moves in reverse. However, the first thing we're going to do is going to be a little bit different. All right. When we bring the leg down and back, oftentimes you're going to not be able to get very far back for most of us. The hip flexors here, and I gotta let you go that far back because that's how much natural range of motion you have. If you see like a ballet person kick their leg up really high, that's because they're also folding forward or they're arching their back right here. That is what I want you to be careful about. If you put a whole bunch of arch in your back like so, and you lift your leg up like this because you're like, this is about getting maximum range of motion, lifting that leg as far back as you can, you're probably gonna make your back ache a little bit. All right. What we don't want is for you to begin twerking. All right. So keep that back nice and straight. Keep that core nice and strong, and that will protect your low back from whatever crazy thing you try to do with your legs. All right. I hope you're ready. Let's go. Hand on the wall. Core nice and tight. You might even want to hunch over just a little bit to really, really work on that ab curl. And let's begin. You don't actually have to, but that was just a demonstration. Let's begin. Bring that leg down and back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. By the way, the reason why I bring it up this time around is because when it's the first step in the whole thing, when you tend to be the most energetic, by the time you get to the last step, you're like, I don't want to, and then you stop working as hard. So that's why I'm bringing it up when it's the first thing. All right, that's 3 reps. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. I'm gonna do a couple facing you guys so it's easier to mirror. Nice and straight. Keep the core nice and tight. Bring the leg down and back. Lift to the side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. 4 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 9. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 10. Oh man. Whew. I'm hot. That is 10 reps. We have finished 3/4 of our hip curls. We got one last hip to do. And if you're really tired right now, that's absolutely okay. If the leg that's been holding you up, the balancing leg, is tired because all those little stabilizer muscles trying to figure out what the heck is going on with your other hip, that is also okay. You know why it's okay? Because we're not using that leg to balance anymore. We're switching to the other leg. All right, let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core tight. Hold your hand out against the wall for balance, and let's begin. Core tight. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor. It is not coming from that low back, from the hip flexor. From here, we're lifting that leg up to the side. We're rotating the ankle up. Bring the ankle down. Bring the knee forward. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 9 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. 5 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. 4 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh man. Whew, that is our hip cars. We've done forward, we've done reverse, we've done 10 reps each round, and I am starting to break a sweat. Maybe the cotton shirt was not a good idea. Whew. If you're just joining in, you're like, what the heck is this guy doing? Shouting, grunting, throwing his legs around, making crazy shapes. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching, hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Oh, and we do this every day to practice the number one quality, consistency. You can have the best plan, but if you can't follow it, it's not the best plan for you. So we focus on consistency in a couple of ways. We are trying to build a little bit of community, a bunch of other weirdos trying to work on our deep, stretchy, hippie stuff. And uh, I try to make the show entertaining so that you don't just have to sit here and suffer in all of your stretches by yourself. We can suffer together. All right. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Hit follow, hit subscribe, and let's keep going. That was just our first warm-up exercise. We got a whole bunch more of shows. So if you're not sure you want to subscribe, you're not sure if you want to follow, you got lots of time to change your mind. All right. Ooh, we're going to get into our second warm-up exercise. It's a little bit more chill than the hip cars. What we're going to do is we're going to fold at the hips and bring our belly button down into the ground. Breathe. Chill, relax. If you have a tight low back, an old back injury or something, this might feel really nice to help relax your spine. Just breathe. Take some air in, release a bunch of air, and grunt and groan and make as many sound effects as you need to help you with that process. All right? From here, when the back starts relaxing and you start feeling the hamstring stretch build in intensity, it's time to start moving. What I want you to do is bend one knee, straighten out the other leg. And I want you to fold the belly button down into the ground. Whew. Feel that hamstring stretch in both legs. It's going to feel a little bit different because one leg is bent and one leg is straight, and that is absolutely normal. Switch to the other side. So the leg that was bent is now straight, the leg that was straight is now bent, and keep going. This is the elephant walk. Whew. Breathe. Keep on trying to bring that belly button down as you go. You're going to feel the stretch in your hamstrings, but you're also going to feel a stretch somewhere here in your butt-ish area. Most likely, that is going to be because your hamstrings turn into tendons, and those tendons connect into the bottom of your pelvis. And when you are folded forward, the bottom of your pelvis is right around here, and that's where your butt kind of is, right? From here, we're going to do a couple more reps of these. If you can fold a little bit deeper, fold. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Come on back up into standing. If your low back is feeling a little bit tired, pop into a little bit of a squat before you come up, and that should help. That is our second warm-up exercise. Take a second, do a little dance, shift around, get your low back, your hips moving, and then we're going to get into another move. What we're going to do next is called thoracic rotation. If your hips were completely stuck in the same spot the whole time, thoracic rotation would look a little bit like this. Whee! We're trying to rotate and we're trying to twist the spine a little bit. Okay? If you have spine issues already, maybe skip this. But if you are otherwise fine and just stiff, this will be really nice. All right? What I want you to do is bend one knee, straighten out the other leg, just like before. But this time we're going to take our arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push against that shin bone to help push open our chest and rotate. We're going to stick the other arm up into the sky. We're going to try and reach back behind us over our shoulder. Our neck is rotating so that our eyeballs can look at that hand. And I want you to reach as far back behind you as you can. As you reach, I want you to inhale and exhale. That is going to help you get a little bit deeper into that rotation. Okay? That is half a rep. We're going to do 5 of these in total. And if I make crazy sounds like that is me being really obnoxiously loud, emphasizing that we're exhaling. Okay, we're trying to get lungs. So we're trying to get air out of our lungs. We're trying to get lungs out of our lungs. All right. Other leg bent, other leg straight. Hand from the bent leg side reaches across the body, pushes against that shin to open up that chest. Fold your belly button down. Look up at the hand. Breathe. And as you exhale, rotate and reach. That is one full rep. We did one on the right and one on the left. Yeah, 4 more. Let's do this. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, reaching across, opening up that chest. Breathe and reach. That's 2. Other side. breathe, and reach. That is 2. Keep going. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side, reaching across to the straightened leg. We're pushing against that straightened leg, opening up that chest, rotating. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe. And down. Other side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push and open and rotate. Breathe and reach. Oh, I think that's 3. Got 2 more. I talk fast, but that does not mean you have to move fast. All right. If at any point your back feels like this is not for me, you can feel free to stop. Otherwise, continue and go at your own pace. All right. Again, one leg is bent, one leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side on the straight leg, pushing against that straight leg to help open up that chest. Rotate, 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 rotate. Reach, breathe, exhale. I think that's 4. Let's go. Oh, breathe, reach. Last rep. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open, 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 open. Breathe and reach. Other side. That is 5. Whew. That is our thoracic rotation. Hopefully, your back feels like you're a whole new you. I don't know if that's actually true. I'm just hoping for good things. But if your shoulders are tired because you've never had to reach that far back behind you, don't worry. We got nothing else that requires the shoulders. You can let those chill out for the rest of the day. I see a big old stack of comment right here. So I'm going to take a look and see what's going on. Sarah over on YouTube says, I've got spinal cord damage and suffer electric shocks down my legs. Do you have any exercise for that? No, I do not have nearly enough expertise in anything remotely close to what it is that you have experienced. So I am not going to be able to give you any advice that's useful because I just don't know. I'm sorry, Sarah. Okay, what else we got? Laura says, good job. And Toes, and hi. Hello, 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 hello. Che is back. And since I'm here, I'm going to take a look at the chat because I'm already at the chat. Most of the time, I try to get through the show as fast as possible these days so that if you are regular, you can get through the show and get back to whatever you got to do. But since I'm already here, I'm going to say hi. Nidhi sends some emojis telling us to tap. All right, back into the regular program. If you have just joined in, you're like, what's going on? What is it that we do here? We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. All right. So we're going to do a lot of hip stuff. And we just did 2 of our warm up exercises. We got 2. No, we got 1 more. No. What did we just do? We did 3 of our warm up exercises. We have 1 more warm up exercise, and then we have 5 stretches. All right. So that is what's coming up. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. All right. Oh, we're getting into our 4th and final warm up exercise. What I want you to do is not do anything at all because I'm going to demonstrate real quick what it's going to look like. I'm going to call out some things and then we're going to get into some pre-stretches for the stretches. It sounds confusing, but don't worry about it. Just look. We are going to hop into some Cossack switches. What that looks like is a deep squat on one side, a side split on the other side. When we're here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, squish down, get low, get compact, get all squishy, and come back and squish some more. All right. That is going to be quite tough on your ankles, your knees, your hips, your low back for most people. So what I want you to do is to pre-stretch some of those muscles. If you're still standing, I want you to pop into a deep squat and sit as low on the ground as you can. If you are not super flexible just yet, and you are kind of like tucked into a ball looking shape like this, that is perfect. I want you to focus on bringing your chest to your knees. I want you to focus on pushing your knees forward so that you're feeling a nice stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves. And I want you to chill here for just a little bit. Okay? The reason why I don't care if you can sit down on your heels and just rest in a deep squat position is because we want that ankle stretch. We want your toes to be approaching your knees. All right? Ooh. From here, when you're comfortable, I want you to do a little dance, do a little wiggle, shift your weight around, and enjoy the mobility that you have. All right. For some of you, it won't be super easy to move around. It won't be super easy to balance. It won't be super easy to shift, and that's absolutely okay. Do what you can, and it doesn't have to be big, grand, crazy movements. Just a little bit of shifting to get your nervous system figuring out how to shift your weight, how to balance, how to adjust to being in this spot. All right. From here, we're ready to begin. What I want you to do is stick your hands straight into the ground. Nothing fancy, just straight into the ground. From here, I want you to extend one leg out to the side. For now, just imagine that you're putting your heel down. It'll shift around later, and that's not important right now. From here, this foot, I want you to have this heel down on the ground as well. That's because when your foot is flat on the ground, it has the highest chance of being very stable for you. And we're going to be shifting around, we're going to be moving, we're going to be trying to balance back and forth, side to side. Having more stability is going to make life easier for you. So get that heel down. Next, try to get your butt as low as you can into the deepest squat looking position while having that heel down. If you got to get into a situation where your heel comes up, maybe just come up a little bit. All right. From here, we're going to move our butts over to the other side. And if you're higher up, it should be easier to get into the other position. But if you're lower down, you can definitely use your hands to help bring your weight over to the other side. That is basically everything. Once you are over to the other side, I want you to pause there. I want you to try and breathe and squish as deep into the other side as you can, and then come back and squish and come back and squish and come back and squish until we're done with all the reps. We're doing 10 reps, and we're going to get started right now. You got all the information to get started, so let's begin. Again, we're going from this deep squat position with our hands on the ground. One leg is extended out, heel is down. Get as low as you can with that heel down and use your hands for support. Let's go. One, over, squish, and back, over, squish. That's one rep. Oh, squish, and back. Two, squish. Come on back. Three, and back. If you're feeling strong, you don't need your hands. You don't have to use your hands. You can keep going. Four, and back. Five, and back. If this is feeling easy for you, ready for more of a challenge, you can sit up a little bit straighter. Imagine the tippity top of your head shooting into the ceiling and keep going. You might need to stick your hands out in front of you to help counterbalance. That's six. Keep going. Seven. If you're in a situation where the inside of your knees are feeling a little bit achy right now, instead of trying to keep your hips low as you come across, you can focus on squatting almost, coming straight up, coming across first, and then sitting into your deep squat position. That takes a little bit of pressure off the inside of your knee, switches it to other places, and if your knees are achy, that's absolutely okay. All right, keep going. 8, and down, and up, and down, and we're doing 2 last ones. Do the best ones that you can. 9, and 10. That is all of our Cossack switches. I hope your hips are feeling looser, your knees are feeling looser, your ankles are feeling looser, and you're ready to get into the rest of our workout. That is our warm up. If that sentence scares you because it's your first time on the live, don't worry. This is a stretching show. We just need to warm up so that our hips, our legs are ready and loosened up for the stretches that we're about to do so you can get the most out of those stretches. All right. I'm not sure why I'm holding these blocks. You don't actually need them. So ignore that for now. We're going to move on into the first of our 5 stretches. All right. The first stretch is a hamstring stretch. And what it's going to look like is this. We're going to drop one knee on the ground. We're going to extend one leg in front of us. We're going to fold and focus on bringing our belly button down towards that thigh. That means there's going to be a whole bunch of weight and pressure on this knee. What I want you to do is grab a little bit of cushioning, something to pad that knee. Dog bed, couch cushion, decorative pillow, dirty laundry, flip flop, whatever it is, stick it right under your knee. If you have actual like fitness equipment designed to be padding for your knee, I mean, you can use that too. But those are the other options for everybody else. All right, I have a foam mat that I'm going to use. Again, you don't need to go out and get equipment for this. A dirty towel will absolutely work. Roll it up, stick it on your knee. All right. From here, we're ready to get into our hamstring stretch. What I want you to do first is to bring your legs together, drop them down on the ground like so. I want you to just look straight down, look at what your hips are doing. This is a very neutral position. This would be what your hips look like if you were just standing up straight, right? This is how we want to maintain our hip positioning for the duration of the stretch. And what I mean by that is when you try to extend your leg out in front, I want it to look like this leg is slightly in front, but we're not twisting, we're not rotating, we're not extending one side of your hip way out there, leaving the other side way back there. We're keeping that neutral position straight down, and this leg is just lifted in front. Right? From here, if you have a leg that's a little bit less flexible that you already know about, start the stretch with that one because we'll spend more time explaining the first go around. And we're ready to begin. Hips are neutral. Fold on the belly button, down towards that thigh. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, fold, fold. Fold, fold, fold some more. Whew. When you're starting to feel that hamstring stretch build, I want you to just breathe. Chill for a second, and we'll go again. I'm exaggerating the loudness of that exhale. You don't have to exhale so crazy. But what I want you to notice is that when you really let out all of that air, makes it easier to drape your body over the legs. And that's what we want. We want maximum relaxation everywhere. No tension in the toes, the feet, the calves. I mean, your hamstrings are inevitable, but glutes, low back, try your best to relax everything. And breathe. Never hold your breath. All right. From here, we're going to do something I call the inhale, exhale, fold. It is very descriptive because we're doing exactly those three things. We're going to take a big breath in, inhale. And I don't want you to inflate yourself like a balloon and pop up, right? I want you to keep where you are positioning wise. And I want you to slowly exhale. While you exhale, I want you to focus on bringing your belly button down to your thigh and as low as you can go. All right. I know I made the sounds and I called them out and I sort of did them together. So if you're already in it, great. If you're not in it, we're going to do it together right now. All right. Inhale. Exhale and fold. We're in a much deeper stretch now. And your hamstrings might be really tense. That is okay. That is good. That is what we want. Relax your calves, relax your toes, relax your feet. You can use your other hand to just sort of play around to double check that those muscles aren't super tense. And keep breathing. Sigh out all of that extra air in your lungs. You don't need them. It'll help you relax, I promise. All right. Once you hung here for a little bit, your hamstrings are feeling not as awful as when you first got into this position. We're ready to inhale, exhale, fold a second time. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. That is our stretching position. Now that you're here, we're holding this for 30 seconds. Keep on breathing. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Right now, if you are desperately trying to smash your face into your knee, or you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in the back of your neck, in your shoulders, in your mid back, you're working too hard. This stretch, the hamstring stretch, comes from the hips. Okay? And what we are doing is bringing the belly button down into that stretch. Everything else you can relax. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Whew. Breathe. All right. I'm going to switch over to the other side because we only did one hamstring stretch for one leg. We got to do the other side. If you need to, remind yourself what your hips are supposed to look like. Bring your knees together and then extend the other leg out in front. Breathe, relax, and let's get ready to fold. Bring that belly button down to the thigh. And once you're folded forward, you're feeling that hamstring tense up. Keep breathing. And chill the best that you can. Whew. From here, we're gonna get ready to inhale, exhale, fold. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Keep on breathing. Your hamstrings are gonna be tight. That's okay. That's normal. If it's really intense and you're like, wow, this is crazy, you can take your fingers, you can stab them into your leg, give yourself a light massage for a second, and then continue. Whew. We're gonna do one more inhale, exhale, fold. All right, you ready for this? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Ah, that is our stretch. Let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep breathing. Keep sighing. Relax as many muscles as you can in your calves, your feet, your toes, your glutes, your low back, your hamstrings, if that will relax. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is it. That is our hamstring stretch. Oh, man. That is quite possibly one of the deepest hamstring stretches, at least on this leg, I've had in a very long time. I think possibly it's because I'm sweating really hard right now, and this might be the first time I've been as warmed up as I am right now. Because it's still winter, and sometimes I do this show in shorts, and the room is cold. So I'm hoping that's the case, and I'm actually more flexible than I think, and I've just never warmed up properly. That would be really nice. All right, where are we going with this? We're gonna move on into our second stretch. We're gonna move on into our butterfly stretch, and what that looks like is we're gonna sit our butt up against the wall, and just chill for a second because that hamstring stretch is really hard. Rest your butt against the wall. Rest your mid back, your upper back, your shoulders, everything. Just slop against the wall and be like, oh man, I'm so tired. Breathe, and when you've given yourself a second to recover, let's get into position. The butterfly stretch looks a little bit like this. We're going to bring our feet together. We're going to pull our feet in towards our hips, and it looks like this. The goal of this stretch, the butterfly stretch, is to stretch out your groin muscles right here. The way you do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. All right? And what I want you to do is use your outer thigh muscles, your glutes, to help pull your legs open. I don't know why I use that accent, but um, that's my how to tame a dragon accent, I feel like. Or that's what I think of when I made that accent. So let's continue. Bring the knees down into the ground. Ah, ah, and clench up those glutes. Pull your knees down. Ah, maybe that's my Schwarzenegger impression. I don't know. Anyways, from here, your groin is getting stretched and your knees are getting a little bit closer to the ground. If this is your first time on the live and you're like, I have no idea what this guy is talking about, he's making crazy sounds with crazy voices. Don't worry that much about it. The main things to notice are if your knees are going down and you're feeling a more intense stretch in the groin, you're doing the right thing. All right, we're gonna level this up right now, and you'll figure out the difference soon. We're gonna take our hands. We're gonna push straight down just below the knee. We're gonna try and push our knees down into the ground. Take a big breath in. Exhale. As you exhale, push. Woo. Bring those knees down. Good, good. If you're doing this right, you should be feeling a bit of pressure in the back of your head, in the tops of your shoulders. That is because your hands are pushing your legs down, but your shoulders are pushing your back, and your wall is there to keep you from falling backwards. And that falling backwards prevention is also making your head feel uncomfortable right here. So everything is normal. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. We're holding this. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Keep on pushing a little bit harder. If your arms are shrugged up into your neck like this, try to bring those shoulders down and push a little bit deeper into your legs. 21, 20, 19, 18. Keep on breathing. Don't hold your breath. 17, 16. Keep on pushing those legs. Push for a little more range. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. If you can, start flexing those muscles again. Flex the glutes. Pull your legs open. See if you actually get a little bit deeper now. 5, 4, 3. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 2, 1, 0. Whew. You can relax everything now. That's everything. We're done with that stretch. Whew. If your wrists are tired from pushing down your legs so hard, you can give them a little flap, a little gentle T-Rex hand flap. And if your legs are up for it, you can start flapping them around because this is the butterfly stretch. So make them move like a little butterfly, flapping their wings. All right? Lift those knees. Drop the knees, lift the knees, drop the knees, lift the knees, drop the knees, and when they're flapping, we're ready to move on. If you're having a difficult time getting the knees up, you can pause, you can take your hands and go, hey, wake up, we got stuff to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Same on the other side. Hey, wake up, we got stuff to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And once you've shaken them a little bit, you've moved them intentionally, they should wake up and they should be able to move a little bit better. All right? With that, we're ready to move on into our third stretch. It is called the standing pancake. And it is quite possibly the hardest stretch that we do. So I hope you're mentally prepared because I just gave you a 10-second warning. Let's get into the standing pancake. What I want you to do is I want you to stand up straight and I want you to open up your legs nice and wide. Okay? From here, if you are so wide that you're starting to feel a pinching pain here in the hips, you have gone too far. Stop. Bring your legs in just a little bit. When that pinching pain, that pinching sensation is gone, we're ready to continue. Focus on the belly button. Everything's about the belly button. Bring the belly button down into the ground. Whee! Whoop. Here we are. This is our starting position. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs. We are folding forward. We're bringing the belly button down towards the ground. This is how we start the pancake stretch. All right. The end goal is to go from like standing and fold, 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 and flat. Is a crazy stretch. Is really, really, really hard. That is why we want gravity to help as much as possible. That is our next topic. We are going to try and keep our upper bodies as close to horizontal as possible. That is the angle where your hips will feel the most leverage and make the stretch super good for you based on gravity's power. If you want to put gravity to even harder work, you're going to also have to work a little bit harder. If you extend your arms so that your biceps are by your ears, that lengthens the lever, makes you taller, and makes everything feel way worse. So you can try to add that in. It will also help you fold deeper. If you want, you can hold something in your hands. You can do the same thing and let gravity pull you down. If at some point you're so flexible, you realize your face is way too close to the ground, you're not comfortable with that, I recommend you try to stick your butt back. All right. So instead of your legs coming straight up into the air, I want you to have them go slightly back. When they're going slightly back, your upper body will come a little closer to horizontal, and you also feel more power from gravity without having your face be on the floor. It's awesome. So try that. Once you're here, we're basically through with all the information. We got a couple of quick last second adjustments. If while you're in this position, you feel like you can push your legs a little bit further out without discomfort, without hip pain, you'll feel the stretching pain, but not the hip pain, then go for it. Open up your legs a little bit wider. And then we're ready to begin. Bring that belly button down. Bring the belly button down. Bring the belly button down. Belly button down some more. Extend your hands out in front of you if you want to suffer some more. Hold on to something if you want to suffer even more than that. And we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. Again, if you feel like your face is too close to the floor, stick your butt back. When you stick your butt back, you might feel like you're falling backwards, so you can stick your hands out in front of you to counterbalance it. Experiment. Don't fall backwards on your butt, though. That will hurt. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down. Oh, do a little push up. Bring your body out of that folded position. And if your legs are too stuck right now to move, I recommend you try to wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, and then after like 50 of these, you'll be like back in standing, and that will be a good spot to be in. Try not to hold your breath, but grunt and groan and make as many sound effects as you need to. All right, that's all cool with me. From here, try to come back up and pop into a little bit of a squat. All right. When you spend too much time folded forward, a lot of your back muscles can start relaxing too hard. And we want them to not be relaxing when we come back into standing. We want them to be working when we come back into standing. So if you pop into a slight squat first, that will get those muscles working and we'll keep them working real good for when you're standing. All right. Now that we're back standing, if you're wobbling like a drunk penguin a little bit right now, that's absolutely a-okay. Keep on moving, shifting your weight, do a little dance, and get smooth. Next, we're gonna real quick talk about why all of your bones and sorry, all your muscles are crying right now. Your hamstrings are attached just below and behind the knee, and they finish. The other point is in the bottom of your hip. All right. If you were facing the front and I was a skeleton and I had a pelvis, it'd like attach right here in the bottom of the pelvis. And that means it doesn't matter if your legs are together or if your legs are apart. If your pelvis is folding forward and your butt is coming up like that, you are stretching your hamstrings. That's why your hamstrings are crying. The other place where your legs should be feeling it is in the adductors, the ADDUCTOR. I think I saw a comment come in asking about stretching the abductors. We'll get to that at the end of the show. But for now, the adductors, their job is to pull your leg in a little bit past center, right? What we did, obviously, was not bring our leg in that direction. We were going the exact opposite direction. These muscles are getting stretched. But to make a painful situation worse, we hung out in this position. We hung out for a long time, and then we forced our bodies to hold ourselves up for that whole entire time. That puts a whole bunch of contractive force in that muscle. Basically, your muscles were flexing real hard while they were being stretched and really uncomfortable. That is why your inner thighs just gave up halfway through and you're starting to like, please let my legs come back together so that I can stand. Those muscles are tired. But there's a pro to that, and that is these muscles are getting stronger every time you hang out there, and we need that strength for some side splits later. All right, so those are all good things. We're ready to move on to our fourth stretch. We got the option between the figure four or the pigeon. If you're a regular or you know exactly which one you prefer, you can hop into whatever it is that you like. I'm going to demonstrate the figure four because this morning I demonstrated the figure four and I want to stay consistent on any given day. Both stretches look a little bit like this. We're taking our ankle, we're crossing across our bodies just above the knee, making this thing that kind of looks like the number 4, right? And then we're going to bring that ankle up towards our belly button. We're going to bring our belly button down towards that ankle, and then we're going to fold. Fold, 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 fold. When we do this right, you're going to feel a stretch out here in the side of your hip. This is the glute muscle, but it's the side of your hip. All right. You might also feel a bit of a stretch in your hamstrings. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in the outside of your thigh. You might feel a little bit of pinchiness when you fold forward. Those are all relatively normal and is okay. All right. The figure 4 has us laying down. So if you're super tired right now because you're like, it's 9 something p.m., I want to sleep, but I'm stretching instead. I don't know if that's true, but if you felt tired from the stretches, you can lie down. Whee! Here we are on the floor. What I want you to do is once again cross your leg just below the knee, or I guess in this perspective is below the knee. When we were standing is above the knee. From here, we're going to stick our hands through the triangle we just made and around sorry, I messed up. We're going to stick our hand through the triangle we just made and around the leg that is not crossed. And we're going to pull that leg in towards our chest. All right. This might feel like a little bit of a stretch, but it is not going to be a stretch for us. We are going to go much further than this. I want you to breathe. On the exhale, I want you to pull your leg in a little bit deeper. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. Again, inhale, exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. Whew. Again, inhale. Exhale, pull a little bit deeper. Oh, when you're starting to feel that stretch build in intensity, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Keep on pulling that leg in. Don't chill. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, you can drop everything. Let the leg down. Let the knees drop to the side if you want. Let the arms go to either side. Sigh, breathe, and chill. Let the knees drop to either side for a hot second. Get a little bit of more twisting. And unfortunately, our relaxation is over. We're going to get back into the other side. Let's go. Spin back around. Actually, you don't have to spin. I spin for you to see what my legs are doing. You don't have to spin at all. Bring the other leg, cross it just below the knee. Reach your hand through the triangle and around the triangle. Pull that knee into your chest. Breathe. Pull. Breathe some more. Pull. Breathe some more. Pull. And build up that stretch. Whew. When you're ready, it's time. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 23, 22, 21, 20. If you're feeling a bit of achiness in the knee, feel free to take your other hand, take your closer hand, palm that knee, and pull the leg in directly. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. To make this a little bit more intense, instead of just using your hand to pull on your knee, I want you to also use that knee. Pull that leg into your chest. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Let the hips drop back down. Let the feet drop. Reach your arms out to either side. Get lazy. Let the legs flop. Breathe. Let the hips drop, or let the knees drop to either side one more time. And I think it's time to get into our fifth and final stretch. We're ready. We just pre-stretched a whole bunch of muscles. And now it's time for some side splits. If you've joined in somewhere in the middle and all you've seen is me laying down and flopping around, then I think you should know that we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we do a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little less just suffering, so that we can do the number one most important thing: practice consistency. So if that sounds cool, you want to work on hip mobility, you want to work on your side splits, you want to get a little bit of help practicing consistency, this is the live to be at. We are live every day at 9 p.m. And on the weekends, which is right now, at 9 a.m. in the mornings, we do the same show to start the day instead of just to end the day. So feel free to come back for that. All right. If you don't know what time zone I'm talking about when I say 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, this live started 50 minutes ago. So 50 minutes ago, whatever time you're in, that's when the live starts every day. All right, let's go. Let's do some side splits. The first thing we're going to do is talk about safety. I'm going to get rid of this chair for a second in my safety talk. And what I want you to do is stand up in front of a wall. Okay, I want you to stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. For most people, that is 1 or 1.5 footsteps. Shouldn't really be two. That would be very small feet. From here, we're going to open up our legs nice and wide. Okay? If you've gone super wide and your hips are hurting, you've gone too far, bring your legs back in just a little bit until that pinching sensation goes away. From here, we're kind of set up to do a side split. What I want you to do is lean forward, put your hands down on the ground, and we are in position. Okay? This is basically the position we'll be spending a lot of time in. What I want you to know is if you start squirming, you start shaking, you start trying to get deeper into the stretch, at some point it is highly likely your butt will start falling backwards and you'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You'll be swimming through the air, you'll be dodging bullets like the Matrix, and then you'll finally fall. If you are standing right in front of the wall, your butt will hit the wall, everything will be fine. You do a little hip thrust, and you're back in your side splits and you're ready to continue. If you were to try this without a wall right behind you, and you were like, oh, I'm stretching, everything's cool, I'm so flexible now, ooh, well, and then all of a sudden your butt goes too far back, you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. That fall is your best case scenario. Your worst case scenario probably ends up looking like, ah, and then you hit your head on the ground. That would be really bad. So don't let that happen. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. And with that, we're ready to begin. Let's go. Oh, my butt hurt. I do this too often. All right, let's go. Open up those legs nice and wide once you are standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Breathe, relax, and try and fold forward. Put your hands down on the ground. If you cannot reach the ground, you need a little bit of help, feel free to use some props. If you got yoga blocks, use those. If you got a stool, use that. If you got textbooks you can stack on top of each other, great. If you got a coffee table, awesome. If you want to even use the foot of your bed frame, that is perfect as well. All right? Whatever the situation, as long as it's stable enough for you to put your weight into and hang out there, you're good to go. All right. From here, we're going to get into the most important position of the whole entire side split. All right. This is the most important part. So if you ignore everything else, fine. But this is the most important part. Right now, our feet are flat on the ground and our knees are pointing forward. Okay. What I want you to focus on is rotating this whole leg back so that the knee is pointing up into the sky. All right. Allow me to demonstrate. Put your hands down for stability, for support, and then go bam! Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. All right. We got to do the same for both sides, unfortunately. So let's get ready to do the other side. Bam! Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. This is our side split. If you are not in your deepest possible position at the moment, which is totally normal, take a second, see if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. And then do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. If this is your first time hopping into a side split, following these instructions, take this nice and slow. Take your time. Your heels might be really uncomfortable right now. That is normal. You might want to take a second to see if you can find some padding for your feet. And I think I'm being too loud. The dog was sleeping, and I think my boom boom pals have woken him. And is he going back? He's going back to bed. Okay, great. From here, we are in our side splits, and we've been chilling for a long time. All that's left is to see if we can get a little bit deeper and hang out for a little bit longer. All right. If you can try to walk your hands back towards your hips, have your butt rest against the wall, and you can sit here. When you do that, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your hamstrings, and we need that to get into your side splits, so feel free to hang out here. Ready? 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. As long as the tops of your knees are sort of pointing in the same direction as the top of your head, you're in a basically side split position. All right. And that's going to be good. If you're feeling a little bit of pinchiness in your hips, you can try to focus on rotating that leg backwards a little bit more. And that should help. 15, 14, 13, 12. Additionally, I want you to relax as many muscles as you can. As long as your knees and the top of your head are pointing in the same direction, your feet can relax, your calves can relax, your hamstrings, if those are relaxed, can relax, your low back, your glutes. Relax. Sigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Walk, 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 walk. And bring your legs in underneath you. That is our first side split. If that felt crazy, if that felt super insane, that's because you were doing a side split and it's crazy and it's insane. It's natural, of course. From here, we're going to get up. We're going to shake out our legs. We're going to try and relax those muscles as much as possible so that we can get into a second and we can get into a third side split. I don't think I've said this yet, but we do 3 rounds of side splits and we do 3 rounds of 30 seconds. In between each of those, we try our best to come back into standing. So come back into standing. And we try to shake out our muscles, get loose. We're trying to teach our body to chill out in between our stretches. Okay? What I want you to do is stand on one foot and I want you to shake out the other ankle. I want that ankle to be loose. I want it to be floppy. I want it to be shaking all over the place as much as you can. This is not you controlling it and going, flex the foot, point the toe, left, right, circles. This is you throwing your leg around and having your ankle flop around wherever it chooses. Okay? The reason why we're doing this is because for your ankle to be flopping around, the other muscles right above them have to be relaxed. And that's what we want. We want you to practice intentional relaxation, let's say. All right, we did a couple of seconds of that. Let's move on to the leg. Shake, 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 shake. Flick, 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 flick. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And how is it? How do you feel? You good? Ready to walk? Cool. All right. Next, we're going to move on into our hips. We're moving up the body. What I want you to do is put all your weight into one leg, the big toe of the other leg down on the ground. That big toe holds almost no weight. All of your weight is in the other leg. All right. What I want you to do is look at that bent knee. I want you to bring it in. I want you to push it out. I want you to bring it in. I want you to push it out. In and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. We want to have a good amount of control here in these hip muscles because we're doing hip mobility work, right? Like the least you should do is have some hip mobility. So we're going to bring that knee in and out and 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 in and out. And as you get more comfortable, as you get more skilled, you don't have to bend the knee as hard. You can chill a little bit more. You can be a little bit more lazy. You can just lean way over to the side and have this leg straighten out and then just sort of flop around left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. When you get super comfortable with this, you can start picking up the speed so much and relaxing so hard that your whole entire quad muscle, everything in the thigh starts flopping all over the place. And that is when we know we have some crazy relaxation and our legs are chilled out. Okay? That you don't have to get to in one day. If you're not there, you can focus on just the in and out and in and out, in and out and in and out. And if you need something cool to make it more fun, you also have some stanky leg. All right. We're building a lot of flexibility, mobility, and movement skills. So you should at least put them to work. It's Saturday night. This is the club. We're dancing. All right. Let's go. Other leg. Bring the toes on the ground, bring the knee in and out and 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 in and out. And as you get more comfortable, straighten out that leg, shake out that leg, shake, 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 shake. If you can get to the point where you're just flopping around and go awesome. You are a wet noodle, you're made of jello, and you're just flopping around all over the place. If you're not quite there yet, you have plenty of other ways to make it fun. Do that stanky leg and do some more dance moves. Do both legs at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Hopefully, your hips are loose because we're ready to move on. We're going to get into side split number 2. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall and open up those legs. If you're feeling pinching pain in your hips, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in, and we're ready to fold. Bring that belly button down into the ground. Whee! From here, if you can reach, put your hands down for a little bit of support, a little bit of balance. If you cannot reach, feel free to elevate your hands and give yourself a little bit of support. From here, see if you can get a little bit deeper into that open leg position. All right. When you're folded forward, it should be a little bit easier to get into a deeper split looking position. All right. Once you're here, we're going to rotate our legs, the most important part of the whole entire show. What I mean by that is right now our feet are flat on the ground, our toes are kind of pointing towards forward, right? Towards you guys, towards the camera. Our knee is kind of pointing in that same direction. What I want you to do is rotate the leg so that the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. From here, we've only done one leg. We gotta do the other leg. Boom. Lock out that leg. Rotate. Heel is down, toes are up, knees are up. And now we've rotated our thigh bones so that there's no way for them to smash into our hip bones. So that all that's holding us back is the length of our muscles. And now we're in our side splits. All right. Let's go. Breathe. Chill. Try to drop a little bit deeper into your stretch. If you can't get much deeper, you can stop at any time. No pressure. But if you can go deeper, go deeper. Breathe. Relax. Rest your butt against that wall for a second. Wiggle a little bit more to the left, wiggle more to the right. Use your hand support if you want to. If you don't need it anymore because you're super close to the ground, that's cool too. And wiggle, 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 wiggle. Keep going as low as you can go. Breathe. Try to relax your toes, your feet, your calves, your glutes, your low back. Breathe. That super loud, obnoxious exhale. And relax. Here we are, 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, don't hold your breath, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. The further you walk them forward, the easier it will be to pull your legs in underneath you and come out of that split. That is our second side split. Our first two side splits, we've been focusing on the sitting up position a little bit more. And when we're in that position, we feel more of a stretch in our hamstrings. For the third and final round, we're going to focus more on the adductors, the inner thighs, all right? And I'll walk you in to that. I'll talk you through that, not walk you anywhere, because our legs are going to be doing crazy things. But before that, we got to shake out our legs, all right? So come back into standing. And let's shakey, shakey. Shake, 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 shake. Shake out that ankle. Relax those leg muscles the best you can, starting with the ankles, going up the leg, and we're ready to switch to the other side. Most of the time, you don't need more than 5 to 10 seconds. All right? So, enough is enough. We're ready to continue. Let's go. Not other. Put all your weight into one leg. Drop the big toe in the other. And in, out, in, out, in, out. If you don't have that decent control in your hip just yet, you can focus on just bring that knee all the way in, bring the knee all the way out, in and out. This is happening because you're using your muscles to pull your thigh bone one way or the other. Notice the rest of the body is not moving at all, right? It's just this thigh bone where it connects to your hip socket, to your pelvis. And you're using your muscles to bring the leg in and the leg out. When you're starting, bending the legs will help you identify that you're doing the thing. But as you get more skilled, as you know what you're doing, you can totally straighten out the legs and keep rotating. Rotate, 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 rotate. And again, as you get more comfortable, you can pick up the pace, you can start flopping, you can start shaking, you can throw that leg around, and that is our relaxation. Next, other leg. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're working on that technique first. And then as you get more comfortable, as you get more skilled, again, this doesn't have to be today. If this is your first time on the live, you can start straightening out your legs. You can start shaking faster. You can start shaking faster and faster and faster and faster. And then at the very end, put all of your weight into one leg, just the slightest tension with that big toe down on the ground, and you can start flopping that leg around, turning it into jello. You are a floppy, wet noodle, and that is our leg relaxation. Whew. Hopefully, your legs are feeling nice and loose. If they're not yet loose, you want a little bit more, you can always do some stanky leg, both sides. And we're ready to continue into our third and final side split. All right. We're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that if we fall backwards, the wall will catch our butt. Everything will be cool. From here, we're opening up our legs nice and wide. If there's a pinching sensation in the hips, bring your legs back in just a little bit. Fold forward, bring that belly button down into the ground. And this is our starting position. If you can put your hands down on the ground, great. That will be very helpful for your stability. If you cannot, feel free to elevate your hands with a yoga block, with a stool, with some textbooks, with a coffee table. Anything that can support your weight comfortably is good. From here, open up your legs just a little bit wider. And then we're going to rotate our legs, right? Our knees are pointed forward. We want them to be pointing up. So get ready to go. Bam! That leg is ready. Bam! That leg is ready. Again, heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. From here, you are in your side split. We've rotated the thigh bone so it can't smash into your hips. All that's holding you back is the length of your muscles, and that's what we're stretching. So do a little wiggle to the left, a little wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right. Try to get deeper into your stretch. Breathe. Chill. And come on down. If you want to start by coming down to resting your butt on the wall behind you, great. That's totally fine. Make sure your knees are pointing up into the air and the top of your head is also pointing up into the air. We're going to focus the stretch on the inner thighs now. All right. I want you to take your hands and walk a little bit forward so that your toes are kind of pointing up at a diagonal. Your chest, your head is also pointing up at a diagonal. And that should put a whole bunch more pressure in your inner thighs. That is what we're working on. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. If anything I've said is unclear about this diagonal version of the stretch, especially my newbies who've just come in for the first time today, let me know in the chat and I will explain it a little bit more at the end, and I'll also try to come up with a better way to explain it. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. The further you walk your hands, the easier it will be to pull your legs in. And we are done with our third and final side split. That is our third and final side split. We're almost actually we're done with all the hard stuff. We only got easy stuff left. All right. Come back into standing. We're gonna shake out our legs one more time. Now that you're all pros at shaking out your legs, as soon as you stop wobbling around like a drunk penguin, we'll be speeding through the rest. All right. Let's go. Stand, put all your weight in one leg, shaky, floppy, shake it out, relax, and do the other side. Shake, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 shake, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 and we're gonna jump into the hips. Knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out. All of your weight is in one leg. Knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out. We are working on these muscles in the hip, trying to strengthen them so we have control, we have the ability to move them at will. And as you get stronger and as you get faster, you can level up that rotation by straightening out the leg. And when you get real good, real fast, your whole leg starts flopping around like crazy. Other side, all your weight is in one leg, big toe, the other foot is down. When you're first starting, the knees are bent so you can see that you're rotating all the way, getting stronger, building the strength that we need to pick up the pace, pick up the intensity, straighten out that leg, put even more weight into that standing leg. There's almost no weight here in this rotating leg, and start flopping back and forth. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 shake, 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 and hopefully your hips are relaxed. If you need a little bit more, you can always add in some dance moves. Do both legs at the same time. Do some stanky leg and other side. This is our time at the club, or this is your practice for the club. You can do whatever you want. From here, we're done with the core workout. We're going to do a couple of quick joint checks just to make sure everything is moving well together, and we'll be done. All right. What I want you to do is nice and slow hip circle. Just Lean into that movement. And try to push your hips through as much motion as possible and see what feels tight. After the side splits, the left and right side of my hip tends to feel quite tight. So I like to hang out there, stretch them out, and chill. If you have a tight low back, you might also be feeling it in your back. You can sort of lean forward and let your back drape a little bit. And when that is feeling a little bit better, we're going to move on and do a quick high knee. If your knees come up, we're ready to continue. No worries. Next up, we're going to pop into a bit of a squat and do some calf raises in that squat. And it's going to look a little bit like this. I want your feet straight down underneath your hips. Not wide, not too close, just nice and relaxed. All right. From here, we're going to pop into a squat. In this squat, I want you to try to bring your chest as close to your knees as possible. And if your back comes horizontal or so, great. From here, I want you to try and push your knees forward. When you do this, your center of balance is going to shift that way, and your toes and your feet are going to work really hard to keep you from falling forward. That's what we want. In addition, when your knees are pointed forward, your Achilles tendon is going to feel a crazy stretch. Your calves are going to get stretched, and they're going to be working real hard. Your quads are probably crying at you and going, "Are you going to finish this at some point soon, huh?" And your low back might be working a little bit to help keep you balanced. Those are all really good signs. From here, you can put your hands down if you want to. I want you to do a couple of calf raises. I want you to imagine that you're centering your weight between your big toe and your index toe. And I want you to, calf raise as high as you can. I'm going to face you for a second. Wee, wee, wee. And when you're super tired and you're ready to call it quits, you can come back into standing. What we just did was force our toes to grip into the floor by leaning forward, force the arch of our foot to get really strong because our toes are working really hard. We forced our Achilles tendon to get into a nice stretch, worked our calves, worked our hips, knees, ankles, feet, and put them to work all together. All right, that was the intention. So if you're able to get most of that movement down, your joints, your muscles are probably working pretty well together, and we're ready to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side split and your hip mobility today. Hope you're feeling chiller now, and I hope you're able to relax because it's Saturday night and you should do whatever you want now that we've exercised. If you've never been here before, we just wrapped up 73 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little less just suffering. So if you like hip mobility, if you like side splits, if you wish you had some way to stay a little bit more consistent, to stay a little bit more accountable to yourself, this is the place to be. We are live every day at 9 p.m. and you should definitely come back. Hit follow, hit subscribe. I make a whole bunch of other content that's not about the side splits. It's usually calisthenics and fitness-y related stuff. I'm not, as you can probably see, a super fitness bro. My mentality towards fitness is sprinkle it in when you can and make the most of the little moments. Those add up. What I mean by that is if you're waiting for ramen to be done after pouring in some hot water, you got 3 minutes, you got 5 minutes to get a little bit of exercise. You've seen some of the stretches that we've done already. In 30 seconds, you can do a whole bunch of suffering to yourself. In 3 minutes, you can do a great tiny workout. Those are not things that you should sleep on. All right. Will you get the strongest possible, the fastest possible? No, probably not. But if that were your goal, you weren't exercising before either, right? So take a couple of minutes when you can, do what you can, and those little minutes add up. Um, in addition to that, I'm doing some calisthenics beginner content as well over on YouTube. The username is at splits on the side. I just posted a video about the elbow lever. If you've never seen an elbow lever, you don't know what that is, what it's called. It looks a little bit like this. You're basically doing a really intense plank and balancing it on your elbows like a little seesaw, and you're just chilling like this. And then maybe you can eventually do cool stuff like lift your legs and dance. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I'm about to lose the earbud. Whew. So, if you want to learn a little bit more about that skill, that video, that tutorial is over on YouTube. The username is at splits on the side, so the same as on TikTok. You can go check that out. And one cool thing about this video is I do this live every single day, right? If you watch the video, you're like, Ken did a terrible job explaining something. You can come back into this live and go, hey, I saw that video and I got questions because this ain't working. And I'll do my best to help solve them for you live. All right. So please go check out that video. I haven't made that many tutorials yet, and I'd be really excited to get some feedback. Cool. All right. That is my ramble and my pitch. So I'm going to sit down and look at the comments. I'm going to drag my butt over and start reading. What do we got? Andy has a message retracted. Sketchy. William says hi. Hello, hello. Queen RR is responding to Elvia about hip mobility. And Elvia was asking about best stretch for the abductors. I'm looking at YouTube chat right now, if you guys are wondering. Let's see. Laura says, good job. Elizabeth says toes. And Laura says, hi. Hello, everybody. All right. Best stretch for abductors. For the people who don't know, the abductors are the muscles that let your leg do this. Whee! Directly to the side. It's not the ones that do it when your toes are pointing up. It's the ones that do it when your toes are pointing forward the whole entire time. So they're kind of like these. If you're trying to stretch out the abductors, there's a couple of things you can do. The easiest one probably is just the opposite of what that leg is supposed to do. So I would recommend you kind of go from the seated position, roll over halfway, maybe come up to your elbows and not straight to your hand if you don't have that kind of flexibility. You can kind of rest this leg anywhere. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight up, and you just kind of be like off to the side and keep on rotating that hip so that the side of your leg is down on the ground and you can sort of pull up. You're probably going to feel a little bit more in the abductors, sorry, in the obliques than the adductors, but if you take your time, you should also be able to feel a little bit of a stretch here in that hip. The other thing you can do to help with your adductors being tight is to strengthen your adductors. The adductors are the muscles on the other side of your leg, and their job is to pull your legs towards the center instead of opening up your legs. So from this exact position, you can actually do some leg lifts and wee, wee, wee. That should help strengthen one side to help counteract whatever's going on the other side. I hope that helps. Okay. Oh, what else we got? I'm gonna come back over to TikTok and see how things are going. Travel Roxy is letting us know that the live is every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and on the weekends, which is right now, we have another live at 9 a.m. Eastern. So you can start the day and end the day at 9 p.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Eastern with some side splits. Chase says question. I'm looking for some questions. PS says you're welcome. Oh, thank you, Ministry of Efficiency, for answering questions. Ollie Day asks when are the lives. Thank you. And we got a bunch of thank yous. I'm gonna keep scrolling. I'm looking for questions, looking for comments, and PS Ministry of Efficiency says this is great. So happy I found this. I'm happy you're here. I'm glad that you feel like this is valuable because I spent a little bit of time here, and I hope that is useful for everybody who comes in. Let's go. Keep scrolling. Man, that is a hard font to read. Lily Anita says, holy! I'm going to keep scrolling. Scroll. One of the things that has started happening because I stopped coming back to the phones as often to read the chat is there are fewer chats to read because everybody knows that I'm not coming back to the phone to read the chat, or you pick up on it because I don't keep coming back. And that makes it a little bit sad because I don't get feedback while the live is running. But I do that because This live already runs long. We're already 80 minutes deep, right? And we have a lot of regulars who keep coming back, and I appreciate them. So I'm trying to make sure that the show stays concise as possible, at least the core exercises, so that the people who know the drill, know what's happening, can get through it, have all of the good vibes that come from doing the workout together without getting dragged into super long explanations that they don't need to hear for the 50,000th time, right? That is why I do all the Q&A at the end now, and this is what's happening. And I start scrolling backwards, so the most recent chat I see first because I have to get to the top anyway. And yeah, Crafty asks, I'm late. How long should you hold a stretch? Most of the time, we're holding a stretch for about 30 seconds. I'm gonna let the dog out. He is ready to go. There you go. And let's see. I'm late. How long should you hold the stretch? Most of the time, we're holding a stretch for about 30 seconds. And that is because there's some science out there that says about 30 seconds is enough for a change. And that's all we care about, a little bit of change. Okay? And the other main thing that is actually super important for shaping the show is for most muscle groups spending about 5 minutes in that stretch position. Is it 5 minutes? 5 minutes in that stretch position per week will have results for the lengthening of your muscles, for your flexibility. It might be like, we don't spend 5 minutes in any of these stretches, and we do this live 7 days a week. What the heck are you talking about? That's 30 seconds times 7 is like 210 seconds, which is like less than 4 minutes. Uh, a lot of the stretches that we do are multiple muscle stretches. Like the pancake, for example, is a hamstring stretch and it's an adductor stretch. The side splits are an adductor stretch and also a hamstring stretch. So those kind of add together, they compound, and they become more than just 30 seconds in the stretch because we're focused on the stretch for each muscle, not per stretch that we're in, right? Multiple stretches work multiple muscles at the same time. Cool. Yeah, I think that's all we got for that topic. I'm going to scroll up a little bit more towards the top of the chat to see if there's anything else that came in early in the live, and I'll scroll back down and see what people have responded. Okay, there we go. Hit the top. Scrolling back down. Scrolling. What else we got? Chase says no questions. I mean, yeah, it is. It is absolutely pretty quiet. All right. Let's see. Swigline, welcome back, says chasing fast strength leads to burnout. Real muscles take time. In short, if you rush strength, you burn out. If you build it, it lasts. That, in general, is probably a good mentality to have towards most things. I know I am very good at memorizing stuff for a test, but guess what? I don't know any of that stuff 30 minutes after I take the test. Not that I have taken any tests in a long time, but uh, same principle applies. If you rush a whole bunch of things, it's highly likely you don't take any of it in, and it's highly likely you'll lose it fast. There is some. How deep do I want to jump into this? Yeah, whatever. I'll just go for it. We don't have any questions anyway. Um, your body likes to stay the same, and that is just how it likes to be. So once it gets into a normal, whatever it is that it categorizes as normal, it's going to want to stay that way for a long time. So that makes some things really hard. That makes change really hard because your body doesn't want to change. And that means you have to work really hard to create the change, right? Where am I going with this? Mm, so if you make a big push and then you suddenly stop, it's highly likely your body will go back to what it used to think was normal, and then you'll just go back, right? A lot of the time that happens in sort of, I think this is a totally like different mechanism, so I'm not going to go into that topic. Your body tends to want to go back to what it thinks is normal. So if you've been a certain way for a really long time, it's highly likely that your body is going to be resistant to change. And so you got to be patient. Give it some time. Force your body to adapt to the new stimulus and force your body to change slowly. However, if you have been strong for a really long time, if you've built the strength, it is also not super easy to lose that strength. It's much harder to build strength than it is to maintain strength. It's much harder to build mobility than it is to maintain mobility. It's much harder to create change than it is to maintain something that you've already gotten to. And that, in general, will apply to pretty much everything that your body does. So, if you feel like it's a struggle now and you're building something up, that that's normal. This is just a phase. When you feel like you've done enough, when you don't need it anymore, right? If you've dropped into your splits and you're like, I don't need it anymore. I'm good. Maintaining it will take like almost no time at all compared to how much time you've already spent working on our stretches today. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? I think that's everything. Oh, okay. That's actually a nice illustration with studying. Always rush studying for a test, then forget. Yup. Yup. And sometimes that's just how tests are. You learn the material just so that you can take the exam, and you take the exam for the grade or for whatever certification, whatever it is. And then once you get the certification, whether or not you're going to use that information ever again, who knows, right? And hopefully, when you do have to use that information, you can just look it up, review a little bit, re-understand whatever it is that you completely forgot, and hopefully it will come back to you a little bit faster than if you were learning it for the first time. But uh, if it's only in your short-term memory and it's never been locked in deep into your long-term memory, it's highly likely it's going to just whoop disappear, and that is okay. Depends on what your goal is, right? If your only goal is to take the exam, that's fine. But if you're trying to own some content, really master some stuff, you probably need a little bit more iteration. You probably need a little bit more practice, and you probably need to spend some time doing and truly, truly understanding some stuff. That is not easy. It takes work, it takes consistency, just like exercising, just like building your body, just like cardio, running, all of those things. Over the long haul, if you invest a bunch of time and a bunch of resources, it's probably going to stick around a little bit longer. If you rush through it and do something real fast, it's probably also going to go away a little bit faster. I'm sure. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people out there who spend their whole lives like doing biohacking and figure out how to get the change to come at a faster pace with less intensity from your time or with whatever drugs and supplements that you got to take. So take all of my statements as broad, general statements and not as pure fact. But without a whole bunch of supplementation, in general, if you take time to build something, it'll stay around a little bit longer than if you take a quick sprint and then never look at it again. Cool. All right. Oh man, we have 114 people on the live right now, and it would drop down to 70. So I thought we were gonna wrap up, but a whole bunch of people came back. So I assume you're new. Welcome back, and welcome for the first time. We are actually wrapping up pretty much an 88-minute live stream at this point. We do 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work every single day at 9 p.m., which was 80 something minutes ago. And we do this to practice consistency, build a little bit of community, make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little more entertaining, a little less just suffering, so that we can practice consistency, move a little bit better on the ground, and build up those side splits. So if you like that stuff, make sure to hit follow, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to keep coming back at 9 p.m. We also have another live on the weekends at 9 a.m. It's the same show, but we start the day with some stretching, and usually I'm way more stiff because I haven't done anything. I usually wake up just before the live, like I did this morning, and you can absolutely come for that if that's how you prefer to start your day. If not, Monday through Sunday, we're live every day at 9 p.m., working on our side splits, working on our hip mobility, working on our stretchiness, and you should keep coming back. All right. Oh, I'm crawling back, taking one last look at the chat, one last look at the comments, and then I will be closing out. If you jumped in just now, there's one other thing I do want you to know. I made YouTube videos that are normal YouTube videos, not this long version, the wide stuff, and I'm experimenting with trying to make tutorials. Right now, or a couple days ago, I put out a video for teaching the elbow lever. And the elbow lever, ooh, let me get rid of the stool, looks a little bit like this. We are basically doing a really intense plank and balancing it on our elbows. And then from there, you can do kind of like cool stuff and just like, wee, oh man. All right, I try to do too many cool things at the same time. But that's the elbow lever. If you got questions, I can answer them on the live. So you should come back after going to go watch that video and then ask questions because I can help tweak and adjust and I can learn things about how I should better teach the content and I can go make better videos. So if you are curious now because you're like, ooh, that's kind of cool, the username on YouTube is at splits on the side. It's the same username as on TikTok. And I'd love it if you go watch the newest video on that account, which is how to do the elbow lever. Cool. All right. I think since we're 90 minutes deep, I'm ready to wrap up because there are no other comments in the live and there's nothing else to talk about. I'm ready to go. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you in. Oh, Travel Doxy has put in the chat. Channel name is Splits on the Side. Include the at when searching in YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm just doing another quick look in case I missed something. I think we're good to wrap. Yeah, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We're gonna keep stretching, and hopefully, we're gonna build a whole bunch of consistency, and you're gonna be flexible demons at some point, and everything will be awesome. That might be a little bit of a exaggeration of a promise, but now that I've told you, it might be a little bit of an exaggeration. It's cool. Okay, cool. All right, I'm closing out. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you in, oh man, 10 and a half hours because we have the 9 a.m. live. All right, goodbye. Swigline says, thank you so much, Ken. Have a good night. Ah, shucks. You're very welcome. I'll see you tomorrow.